Next week, we're going to celebrate the July 4th holiday and our nation's independence, but it's also the anniversary of a more somber moment in our history, the Battle of Gettysburg, which went from July 1st to the 3rd in 1863. You know it as the turning point of the Civil War. If you visit the battlefield today, you can learn all about it from a certified tour guide. And if you're lucky enough to take a tour with one, you can be sure they will know their stuff. Brooke Silva Braga is here with that story. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning. Becoming a Gettysburg guide requires acing what some have called, yes, the hardest test in history. And Civil War buffs study for years, even decades, in hopes of joining this exclusive club.
You know how to drive like every kind of car, probably.
I have driven so many cars, yes.
Phil Musket is one of fewer than 130 guides certified to hop in your car and teach you about Gettysburg.
On the evening of July 2nd, 1863, a brigade of Confederate soldiers, Georgians, are coming in from the right. As they push into this marshy area here, the Pennsylvania Reserves will charge down in here and push those Confederates out.
Devil's Den's 500 yards away.
Build is America's oldest licensed guiding group.
Confederates take this, they drive the Union right off the field.
Gettysburg's Association of Licensed Battlefield Guides was born in 1915 after veterans of the battle complained their history was being mangled by uninformed amateurs.
So they go to the War Department, and the War Department creates the licensed battlefield guides. It's why it's so rigorous, because those veterans were doing it for them.
They aren't doing it for the money.
The Confederates will ultimately overrun this position.
Guides get $70 for the 2-hour trip.
You can't make a living doing this.
And yet, last December at the community college in Gettysburg,
Come on in. Good luck, everybody.
158 aspiring guides lined up.
How you feeling?
Pretty good, a little nervous.
The only way to find out what I know is to take the test to find out what I don't know.
When did you realize you wanted to do this?
Oh, when I was 5.
Only the obsessive even make it into this room.
So I've been studying for it for years.
There's no fixed schedule for the test, and before December, it hadn't been offered in more than 7 years.
Okay, room 115.
The failure rate is nearly 90%.
First time taking the test?
Third time, actually.
Third time. And so you've been wanting for a decade.
Yeah. Yep, longer.
Wilcox.
What do those years of studying look like?
Are these shower curtains? What is this?
These are shower curtains by necessity.
For Dara Gardner, it's turning her living room into a giant map.
Jenny Wade.
Jenny
That's
Wade.
An easy one.
And collecting dozens of photos
That's General Ewell.
of people she may have to identify.
But then we run into these problems because they start to all look the same.
They do look the same.
This is not Chamberlain, that is Butterfield. Is that a younger picture of me? I don't think so.
No, I
Oh,
think
look,
it's a
it is.
different
Look
guy.
at his hair.
Is it? Have you read all of these?
Of course, yeah. I mean, many times.
Meanwhile, Casey Turbin was practicing on old versions of the test.
You got a match here, Buck and Ball Regiment. We know that's 12th Jersey.
Like a lot of people we met, he fell in love with Gettysburg on a childhood trip.
So here we're looking at the third day's battle, how they're setting up for Pickett's charge.
And that young crush became a lifetime love affair.
Do you want to give a book recommendation? If people can just read one of these.
My favorite of all Gettysburg books, pivotal book, Bill Frassanito, A Journey in Time.
Frassanito, a former guide himself, combed through photos of the battle.
And he was like, I think some of these are wrong.
Famously debunking some of their descriptions.
Is he still at that same bar all the time?
Yep, Reliance, I shouldn't tell people this, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights, 9 o'clock, he likes Coors Light in the bottle.
And sure enough, we found Frassanito there. He declined to be interviewed at first. He doesn't have a computer or cell phone, but responded to a physical letter.
I have your letter right
Oh, you have my letter. Very good.
And a couple months later, agreed to tell his story.
What was being a guide like?
Well, it was better than working in an auto body shop.
Frassanito became a guide in 1966 at the precocious age of 19.
And a lot of the guys were in their late 60s. They were born in the 1890s, but we were like a fraternity. Well, this is one of the most iconic photographs taken after the battle.
While guiding, Frassanito studied photos, including the famous shot of a dead Confederate in a sniper's nest.
In my research, I discovered 4 other photographs of this body.
But it wasn't known where those other photos were taken or in what order.
So you were just hunting all around here?
Yeah, I was searching all around here.
Until more than 200 feet from where the iconic photo was taken.
And you knew you had to find that specific rock?
Oh my God, yeah.
Frassanito discovered a distinctive boulder found in the other pictures.
And I said, oh my God, they didn't rearrange that soldier. They actually carried him. And that's what makes this intriguing is, research going on still.
History is filled with moments we promise at the time never to forget, but eventually do. The modern monument to Gettysburg is how well it remains remembered at such great effort, all for the simple goal of being entrusted to tell that story to others.
Okay, what kind of smile is that?
It is a glad to be done smile.
How was it?
I feel like it was harder than the first 2 times.
Oh no.
Such minutia that I was like, really?
I was thinking it wouldn't be quite so detailed.
Where did a sketch artist, where was he born? I don't know where he was born.
I got it wrong. It's probably, I put Alfred Woad. I put Edwin Forbes.
I put Edwin Forbes.
Oh, goodness, I put Woad too.
I found out I don't know a lot.
Okay, you don't sound that optimistic.
I'm not.
You get the best of the best when you make the test that hard, so.
Daddy scored in the 60s, and he's not going to make the cut, but just going to be a couple years, and we'll be working in Gettysburg, okay?
Casey Turbin and Dan Decker didn't pass. Tim Gonzalez and Derek Gardner also didn't make it. Jonathan Lucci and Matt Callery will have to try again. But Judy Morley, a retired Civil War professor who moved to Gettysburg 6 years ago with hopes of becoming a guide, was one of 20 to advance, then one of 17 to pass the panel interview this spring. The last step, giving a mock tour. She failed that the first time, but got a final chance at it this week. We waited for her outside the visitor center after she got her results.
I failed. No, just kidding. I passed. It's still sinking in that I'm done. Like, I made it. But I am very excited.
Yay, Judy!
There are about 5 from that 158 who are now guides. A dozen more are still waiting for their turn to do that final test.
Phil Musket, real last name?
Real last name.
Wow.
He introduces himself as, I'm Phil Musket, that's my real last name.
Oh, I love it. And I love knowing how I always wondered how they would take you on the tour of such a vast battleground.
It's really fun and educational. If you have a chance to get out to Gettysburg, I recommend it.
And I love that it took a retired professor, Civil War professor. Like, my God, a great story.
Unbelievable.